So my initial bias was actually bearish for today, and clearly I ended up being completely wrong. But I ended up taking two trades here, and both ended up being stop losses. But I'll show you exactly what I was looking at. So right around open, I was targeting this high here. We had this high as well, and my initial thought was, okay, we're gonna open up. It was right around. I was looking at the chart maybe around here, and I was assuming, hey, we're gonna open up, we're gonna come up, sweep this liquidity, and then we have a lot of room to grow, a lot of pools of liquidity here that have to get touched, especially because of this giant displacement here. If we look at the, maybe it's an hour, I'm sure it'll be. Yeah, so I was looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, all right, we're gonna have a lot of room here to drop, but clearly that ended up not happening. And price decided to react on a randomized liquidity up here that has nothing to do with anything, just random 1 p.m. liquidity intraday. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the trades that I took and maybe what I could do better for next time. Like I said, I opened up here and I'm looking at this wick, swept this through, and these are relevant highs because it's overnight, 8 a.m. highs, so it's right around the pre-market of New York. And we come up, we sweep, break a structure. If you go down to the 1 minute here, I was actually considering taking partials. I was maybe around, yeah, so I entered off this wick here because we finally broke structure, and then I was considering taking some partials when we came back down to this wick, because my initial play looked something like this. Let's just say, yeah, it was up here to this liquidity, and then right over this one. So that's something, it's similar to what I had going on for me for my first trade. And I was considering taking partials for one of them. I think maybe around here or here, I'm not too sure. But I didn't do it just because I thought, hey, we have a lot more room to grow. There's no signs of us slowing down because of this rejection right here and these giant wicks. So I was like, you know what, it's gonna keep dropping, and ended up not dropping at all. So I ended up taking a loss of about $100 here on this eval account. So yeah, it's kind of my bad, especially this re-enter here. It wasn't the smartest move. I kind of FOMO'd a little bit out of my own setup because, like I said, my bias was definitely bearish. And I assumed this is just going to be a displacement to kick everybody out and then hop back in. But ended up not being true. So price just kept rallying, and then the liquidity sweep that I was looking for actually took place on some really random intraday liquidity pool. So if you come look at this right here, 69.77, and it's from a couple days ago, December 29th, I mean. Come look at this. It's literally just like the most random intraday 1 p.m. high for no reason. And it completely neglected everything here. It neglected all the middays, I mean all the session ends, session closes, this giant fair value gap here, everything got ignored. And price decided to just rally up to some random pool liquidity before making the move I was actually looking for, which it's a bit frustrating, but like I said, I'm still up for this account, $100, which isn't much considering the profit goal of 6K that you need to pass this evaluation, but it's gonna get better. It's just day 2 now. Now looking back on this trade, I'm actually pretty happy that I took it because it fit all my parameters pretty well. Had the liquidity sweep, had the break of structure, also targets, especially fair value gaps. I'm a really big fan of fair value gaps. I like targeting them, anything below or anything above, wherever the structure breaks in that direction. But then in hindsight, I also noticed after the move kicked me out of my trade, I noticed that we had mid-session lows right here, which broke right before New York session, and that's when the rally first began. So realistically, I should have, me being the smart trader that I am, I should have seen this as the retracement into the actual movement up, because let me just clear this out so it's a little bit more easy to see. We have this low right here, right? So 7 a.m. low, it's pretty relevant low. 8:50 we sweep it, and then the initial move, right? It's right before market open or session open for New York. The official move goes up. And what I played off of, thinking that the displacement candle was done, which is this green here, I played off of the retracement, thinking it was time for us to start moving down to fill out all these relevant lows here. But like I said, if I saw this, which I didn't even look at honestly pre-market too much, but I did see this afterwards, after the play went through, this, boom, the sweep, then I would have known, hey, this is just a retracement into the actual move up, chasing whatever liquidity is there. And on top of that, it kind of did form a banner here, a little bit of a flagpole, and then boop. But you know, it is what it is. Trade still fit my parameters. It was a really good setup for me. I'm not too upset with it. Obviously, I would have liked to win, but it is what it is. You had the liquidity sweep, necessary break of structure, and then, you know, definitely relevant targets down here. This all by itself, this all by itself, this giant fair value gap here if you look at the 1 hour again. So all around, I think it was a pretty good day to learn, just not a good day for profit. But yeah, all in all, I still think this is definitely a win just because I stick to my trading strategy. It didn't go my way, but that's totally fine. That happens sometimes. Just gonna have to learn from it, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.